Hi friend, welcome back to my channel. In last session, we had discussed about cloud computing. We understood what cloud computing is, why it is important, what are the benefit and all other details. In today's session, we will discuss about cloud service types. So, you might be knowing about this, like there are thousands of services are available in cloud. Now we should understand what services are coming in which type of cloud services. Okay, so there are primarily three services available onto the Azure cloud system that we call as infrastructure services, platform as a services, and software as a services. So let's talk about what these services do and what kind of responsibility will be shared by provider and user. Okay, so let's talk about infrastructure as a services. In infrastructure as a services, the user is whole sole responsible or have full control over the in resources. Okay, so let's understand this by taking an example. So in this, suppose we want to build a house and suppose we buy a land. So in that case, what we have to do is we have to buy, we had already land. Now we have to buy the building material, then we will build the wall, do the painting, do electrician work, and uh, electrician plumbing work and all other things. Like the same way in infrastructure services, we are responsible for everything, like uh, operating system, we the application its maintenance, like in operating system we require patching, time to time window update or maintenance and all other things. So same way means this is what the infrastructure service. In infrastructure services, provider is responsible only for the machine or physical machine they are providing to you for on the rent purpose, right? So but what operating system required to install, that's you can take care, patching you can take care, security you can take care, but the physical security and in the system they are taking care. So moving on to the next cloud service type, that is platform as a services or PaaS. In this service, we not only get the land but also a pre-built foundation of framework will be available. Okay, so in this case, we buy a house. Suppose we buy a house where the foundation, wall, plumbing work and electrician work already completed. So we had already this, we have buy this thing. Now we are, what we have to do is we will still do some work, like we can do interior design, or what items we want in the in our house, those kind of things we can, we still have to do. The same way in platform as a services, the responsibility of cloud provider will be more. Okay, so they in infrastructure services they were they were maintaining the physical servers and all, right? But here they are also responsible for other things, like what kind of operating system. So they are responsible for operating system, they are responsible for patching, they are responsible for applications and some configuration also. Now here in platform as a services, what the user will be responsible. So in this case, right, this will be we still manage the application and data and some configuration setting, but not all other, like we are not worrying about operating system, patching, physical machine and all those things. So what is the benefit over here, right? The benefit is we can do fast development and deployment. We only focus on our coding or implementation portion. We should not worry about managing the infrastructure or scalability of the system. Okay, so everything will be there in platform as a services. So what services comes under this platform as a services? So there are a couple of services which I'll tell you, like Azure App Services, Azure Function App, and Azure SQL Database. These are the services comes in platform as a service, where we don't have to worry about uh, it's behind the what kind of machine is required, OS required. Everything will be done by provider. Let's talk about last cloud service type, that is software as a services. In the software as a service, we also call as SaaS. In the services, if we talk about the same example, like house example of building the house. So in first option, where we were talking about infrastructure services, we only got the land there. In that case, we built the house, we built the wall, plumbing and electrician and internet, everything we had to do the same way, right? So there's the example of virtual machine. If we get the virtual machine, we are responsible of OS application software, and what configuration we want, we are responsible for that. But in platform as a services, we were responsible only for the application and our data, and everything will be done by our Azure provider. In software as a services, we are not worrying about those. We are worrying about our only the data, what the data we have. Okay. Hmm. And what kind of who will be able to access our system. So everything is ready made. If we talk about the same example, like house, in this case, software as a services, we will get fully furnished house. In the fully furnished house means, like, we will get, right, the house interior design, sofa and all other steps we don't have to do. We just go and use it. So the same way in software as a services, we will just use the services. We should not worry about anything, right? Only we will worry about the data, and who will be access, who can access our system. So like you have we have great examples of software services, like email, right? Then email, we just go and type the email and send. We don't worry about what is happening, who, what operating system, what compute power, where the storage and everything. We will just uh, start using it. So the same way, software as a services are those services where we can just everything is pre-built, we just start using it for our own purpose. Okay. So Azure example is Microsoft 365 is also the example. So in this section, I wanted to tell about this Azure cloud services type, where we have learned infrastructure services, platform as a services, and software as a services. Thank you so much.